welcome to the Remake podcast. I am your host, Maroxide, and I am joined here today by the one and only Malamphy, yet again, and the man who literally just finished practicing, who never gives up, Mr. Lucy Lover.
What's the story?
How are you getting on, lads?
Good.
Hey, can't complain.
Yeah, good. So I've been just banging my head against the wall playing this Resident Evil demo.
Can't complain or no one listens.
A bit of both.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's always a little bit of both.
Today we're going to just catching up on things we talked about before we took our break for Gamerfest weekend and stuff like that, and kind of bringing you up to speed on how we feel about what's happened since then. So I'll start with like what you're doing, guys, apart from Lucy, because everyone knows what he's doing. But I'll start with him first. Lucy, what the hell are you playing and what are you doing?
Well, I think you know what I'm playing. I'm playing Resident Evil 3 demo, and first of all, I love it. People think I hate it because all I'm doing is just complaining all the time. The only reason why I'm complaining is because obviously I'm speedrunning it. My time at the minute is 1 minute and 50 seconds, which I think the world record is like 147 or 148 or something. Yeah, so that's literally just one line or one dodge, because a dodge actually gives you a boost. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Getting very annoyed over the demo. But what do you think about the demo? You didn't play it yet though, Maroxide, have you? You haven't played it.
Not yet, no, but we'll get to that a little bit later on, because I do want to talk about it more in depth. Malamphy, what the hell have you been up to?
I've been doing the usual, like I was saying last time. I was still doing the challenges in Fortnite, but I have delved into the Resident Evil 3 demo as well, and I have my own opinions about it that I'd like to discuss in a minute as well when we get to it. But also Doom Eternal when it came out. And my God, that's all I can say about it right now.
Yeah, for now. For me, I've been playing loads of different things. Obviously, I play FIFA with the community and stuff like that. I went back to playing Bloodstained yesterday because I actually got some DLC for it that I need to find out about. Just I need to know what about this boss and the items you get from it. It looks great. But I also tried Legend of Keepers during the week as well. I streamed that, and that's hilarious. So that's like Darkest Dungeon, but you're the dungeon mobs. You're the monsters and stuff. You set them up to defend the dungeon. So basically, dungeon defenders. And it basically, the community can say on Twitch they can hamper you by like voting for the heroes to get buffs and stuff instead of your monsters getting buffs and stuff. And I had an absolute blast with it. It was very, very funny. Other than that, I haven't touched the RE3 demo yet. I haven't played Doom Eternal yet. I don't really play fun games, it seems. But yeah, that's it for what we've been playing and doing. I think. I don't know. No,
Missy did just remind me there as well. There was that thing that I got accepted into during the week called Stream Captains, where it's like a little, it's like a little game that you have running in the background, and people go to the website and just deploy their units. But then it's like once every half an hour while you're like taking a break from a level, or if you're playing Call of Duty, you're waiting to get into another lobby. You're able to run these little raids, and people get rewards from it, and skins and battles and stuff. It's pretty cool.
It's nice to just, interacting with your community and stuff as well, and it's like it has a visual aspect. You can show it on screen and stuff like that. It's quite cool. I like that actually. That was a very cool addition to your stream this week. So let's talk a bit of news. So during the week, it was leaked from South Korea that we could be getting a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 remaster. And I literally had a conversation with Luca the other day about this. He was like, I'd love for this to be a thing. And it seems like that's where they're going. I don't know, like, will it stand as well? I know Call of Duty Modern Warfare, when they remastered it and put it with, was it Advanced Warfare? You got the double pack.
Yeah.
And that did really, really well. But is there enough of a demand for it to be a standalone? Or will I have to add it to another game?
To be honest with you, I'm only speaking personally. I used to be well into the Call of Duties, and in regards to Modern Warfare, I was like, as you know, I'm not much into competitive PvP, but the campaign of Modern Warfare 2, my God, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was the best one, probably the best campaign. It depends on what day of the week you find me on. Sometimes I'm like, right, COD 4 is better. or Modern Warfare 2 is better. They're the two kind of kings to me.
But see, I
And
could be
both-
mixing up some information here. Was it Modern Warfare 2 was the one where you were with the Scottish fella and you had to infiltrate a compound and you had to like sneak through, like crawl under the Jeep?
Yeah, that's
And the
COD
tanks.
4. That level is called All Gillied Up.
All gillied up. I thought that was the Modern Warfare series.
That it is Modern Warfare. COD 4.
Yeah, Call of
It's
Duty
called
4
Call
is
of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Modern
That's what it's
Warfare
called.
is
But that's Modern Warfare 1, like.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
I'm just
but
mixing that up.
the actual name of it is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, like the original
Hmm.
name of it when it came out.
I haven't got a clue. I can't keep up to date with half these
I would
things.
definitely recommend playing through those campaigns, Fano, if you haven't.
Yeah,
They're
no, I might take a look at it. I think I have Modern Warfare, the remaster. If the story mode's on it, I'll definitely have a look at it.
And like not only that, but like they have. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go
But like if they remaster this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, do you reckon they'll actually use like the similar kind of tweaked engine they use for the new Modern Warfare? Because it does feel slightly different.
Definitely.
I don't know. I think because they're going to actually have like a Modern Warfare 2, like a completely new game made in this engine. Like they're going to be aiming to keep that separate. So if they're just remastering it, I think they're just taking the old game and bringing up the graphics, bringing up the resolutions, making it look a bit neater. But I think it'll play the same. I don't think. I'd hope that people would get to have that nostalgia factor from it the way they played it before.
Mm.
Hopefully the servers aren't as bad, but like we'll take what we can get. So GameStop has decided to close all its stores in California. This is due to the coronavirus. Now, I know that's just one place in one country and one store, but like you can see that this could be bad across the board for just GameStop in general. Like it could be the end of GameStop.
It could
I
be.
can see where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, they do have an online retailing as well, where you can get stuff delivered to you. So of course, like people are needing to make very hard decisions with the cancellations and stuff and the closings of different businesses and stuff. But there is always something else there. Like there is still people that go to the GameStop websites to get certain things like especially pre-orders. Depending on the country, of course, but they do still have that to back up on while we're in this weird stage of events.
Yeah, but then at the same time, they're competing against Amazon and stuff like that, who are the global retailers of online distribution. Like, can they keep themselves together on that alone? Like, do they have enough exclusives and stuff like that go to GameStop to keep them going on online sales alone? Like in Ireland, it definitely wouldn't work.
I reckon it'll just come down to the loyalty. It'll come down to people's experiences that they've had with the individual retailers alone. That's what a big factor will be.
I'm like 450 carats. That's what their thing is. Off getting the Epic card and the big hoodie. So I'm going to get that, and then I'm just going to close my account. As a former GameStop employee.
What do you think, Lucy?
I forgot about that, actually. Yeah, I think it's proxy. Like, it's not going to... Like, nobody knows when this coronavirus is going to feck off, Nobody knows when it's going to go away. So, like, I lost my job temporarily because of this coronavirus, and I think everybody's there's a huge question mark at the minute. And to be honest, I think that most gamers going into GameStop are probably console gamers anyway, aren't they? Would you say the same?
You'd assume
most of them would be console.
Well, you get collectors and like people who just genuinely want physical copies of games. Like I love having physical copies of games. I spent 80 quid yesterday pre-ordering a physical copy of Streets of Rage 4, which is literally going to be like 20 quid digitally.
Yeah. I don't know, like I used to be a major. I used to love collecting the physical copies now, but I just think the digital copies are a lot more convenient now with the way things are. Like,
but it's like you said,
easier.
It's like you said, with a lot of people going in would be console gamers. It's like, do you know the way I have the Raccoon City keys there and the Leon statue? That was only for PS4 and Xbox One. There was no collector's edition for the Steam version.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
So
that's the advantage that they have, I guess.
Like some people are dropping the the between 200 and 300 euros or dollars or whatever for the various collector's editions just to have the memorabilia. Because even look at the Final Fantasy VII Remake collector's edition, you get Cloud wielding the Buster Sword up on top of the Fenrir motorcycle.
I want it so bad.
I haven't seen that.
I want it so bad.
Is there a picture out there of it? Is there?
Yeah. There's been a picture out there ever since they first announced
look up the
it.
Final Fantasy VII Collector's Edition.
Yeah,
Collector's Edition.
That's another point. The stores don't only do games at the same time. They would do gaming
they sell a lot of
memorabilia.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're right. I see it there. He's on the bike and he has the big sword.
It's class.
Yeah.
It's one of the best statues I've seen in a long time. The Doom one actually is class as well.
The helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to. One of the lads, Viking Gamer, got his hands on it the day before it came out because of the way they changed the opening release dates and stuff, and it lights up. It fits on his head and it lights up.
Oh, you have to stream wearing that. Like if it fits on your head, you have to.
I was like, I don't care if it's a 10-minute stream and you say nothing. I just want to see it on your head while you play Doom.
It must be like the same size as a motorcycle helmet or something. Like it.
Yeah.
It must be big.
You could almost probably wear it as a helmet on a motorbike, couldn't you?
Yeah, because that just would tear it down the road.
I wonder would it have the protection on it though? You know what I mean?
Probably wouldn't. No, not like a real helmet.
It'd
be gas just for the memes.
Yeah, so like I'm more worried on the global scale of what this is going to do with GameStop, because if they're closing stores, like obviously their main hub is in the States, and from there it's like franchise stores across the world. If they're closing them in California, and even a couple of days ago, I think it was the 17th, they announced that they were keeping stores open. Like 2 days later, they're announcing they're closing stores. 3 days later. What's stopping them from closing their Irish stores and stuff like that? But what's giving them the incentive to open them back up as well when this blows over? Because they're going to have so many people taking away their pre-orders and stuff because they're going to get their games elsewhere. On top of the fact that there's weeks and weeks of zero sales. Like, but after that blow, like you have to give people back their pre-order money, and then you have to go back to the stores that haven't sold anything, but you're still paying rent for the premises and stuff that.
I'd say what they're probably going to do is give people the choice. They're probably going to say, here's your $5 or $50 or whatever you put towards it back. Thanks and sorry for the inconvenience. Or they might turn around and do the whole thing. Do you want us to change it to a delivery? Because you have the option to collect in store or have it delivered.
But anyone who orders in store, like, they're not going to. I don't know. I just don't feel like they would be competent enough to ring everybody and sort this all out. Because you're going to have people who are going to say, "Okay, that's fine, deliver it to me," and you're going to have people who say, "No, I don't want you doing stuff with my address, and there's no one home during the week." You know what I mean? We'll probably lose it. Like if you pay €300 for a collector's edition, or something, and if they try to charge you for delivery on top of that, you're just going to say no.
Well, that's a very good point that was pointed out there as well. There is certain countries, it's only certain countries at the moment where the government bodies are helping out with the closures and making sure that their employees don't go unpaid.
Yeah. Well, that's a fair point.
Look, when this virus goes away, I reckon there's going to be like a big influx of buyers now. Like they're going to be like almost starved of buying stuff.
I don't know. I think it might be the opposite. I think people have like we're getting into politics here for some reason. Have overspent on food and necessities and stuff like that. That when it all comes back around, they're actually not going to have money to go out and buy things. So stores are still going to struggle after all of this.
Yeah. At the same time, I'd say it's probably just going to come down to people are going to be people. You're going to have some people that'll say, "Sure, look, I went a couple of weeks or whatever without needing to do all this. I don't need to do this on a day-to-day basis." Then you'll have other people, as Lucy said, that'll be like, "Get me into pennies. I need to get new clothes," or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's how I feel at the minute. I want to go into pennies right now, speaking of, to get more clothes because I'm wearing the same clothes every day. But because I can't leave the house.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's unprecedented. Like this is like wartime. I don't really know if I've seen anything like this before. Any of us have.
Yeah.
I think that like my only concern is I have Final Fantasy VII pre-ordered with GameStop, and if they try to like mess this up for me, I'm coming for them.
You're not the only one. There's so many people that were in my chat yesterday saying I pre-ordered Resident Evil, I pre-ordered Final Fantasy, and I'm like, was it GameStop? And they were like, yeah, I'm so worried. Like, it's everywhere. Like,
Like it's across the board, though. I suppose. Like
you have to admit, though, they did do very well with the release of Doom Eternal and
They
Animal
did.
Crossing.
The way they separated them into 2 days, that was a great way of presenting that option to people. And if they continue to do things like that, or even if they do like a, like a drive-by service where they have the copies there, they literally have one door open, they have a makeshift desk. You don't go into the shop, you just literally go to the door, hand them your receipt or whatever, they check it out, and then they hand it back to you. That's fine. Like, just for the hours. And just say, okay, we're open for 4 hours. If you want to collect your copy of the game, you come within those hours. That's it. Or they can say, okay, and it's not fair on everyone, but say the game's out on Friday. On the Thursday, half the people who will pre-order can get it. On the Friday, the other half can get it.
Yeah.
That way you're not getting everyone in the store at the same time.
Yeah.
But on to other news. Call of Duty Warzone. All right. I haven't touched it yet because it's a ginormous download. But everyone else seems to have, because it's had over 30 million players since it launched.
There is so many people after flocking to it. Like, not only is it the fact that it's another battle royale, it's another free to play game, but it's attached to the Call of Duty series.
Yeah, like I know people were asking for this. I know that there's a bit of stagnancy with with Fortnite and stuff. I know this answers a couple of questions, but this kind of feels like how Apex Legend was last year for me, because everyone flocked to that because they wanted something new for the time, and then they all seem to go back to Fortnite pretty quickly. How long do you think it'll last with Call of Duty? Are they doing it right in comparison to, say, the way Apex did it last year?
I don't know, because wasn't Apex quite dormant when it first came out? And then
Apex was huge. It came out of nowhere. Like
that took over for a while.
No. I mean, like, in terms of updating their stuff, like they just left the game.
Yeah,
like it was just it stayed there. Whereas I don't think Call of Duty are doing that. Like, aren't they? They're in talks. Like, the limit now is 150 people in one game, but aren't there talks now with the next update that's going to be 200? They've just released solos as well. They have a new plunder mode as well. It's not just battle royale. That plunder involves like collecting money or something. I haven't played it, but I reckon they might do a little bit better than the like. I mean, I'm not a battle royale player. I don't know how validated my opinion is of battle royale, but I have a funny feeling the Call of Duty will be a bit more productive with the time when it comes to updating the game. Like, I remember when Blackout came out. Blackout was the mode for Black Ops 4 a year ago, and it felt like it was a while again for that one that they changed the game. They added a big boat in the sea that you could go on, and you could find more weapons, and you could drop there. New areas as well, new weapons as well. But I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Like, it really does come down to like, a lot of people. Anytime a new battle royale comes out, so as you said, there was Blackout, there's Warzone, there was Realm Royale, there was Apex Legends. There's so many of them. And a lot of people keep saying, what's going to take over PUBG and Fortnite. But it really does come down to whichever company wants to try to overtake. And I only had a chat about this with a couple of people who play the game, who play the likes of Fortnite and that the other night. They need to bring something to the table. There's this whole thing where, like, especially in Fortnite, at the moment they have this whole thing where every 2 months they completely mix everything up.
Yeah.
So every now and again it constantly feels like there's something new, in a sense. Yeah. Now that's only my opinion now, and I've not been playing it for very long. But that seems to be the impression from the community.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, like, with Call of Duty, there's usually like a AAA title they do every year. Can they do that and maintain something like this alongside it? Or is it too much work?
If it's a separate team, maybe.
Look,
Yeah.
there is obviously two separate teams. There's Treyarch and there's Activision. Isn't that the two teams?
No, but I mean, on top of that, that within Treyarch or Activision,
Yeah.
whichever
But-
one it is, that there is one dedicated to, like, the other way they'd have one dedicated to multiplayer or one dedicated to zombies.
Mm.
That it would be that way, where now they have a fourth to watch Warzone.
I mean, the one thing about it that's probably given it, like, remember when Battlefield 5 came out with their Battle Royale game? And that was just like hot for like a day, and then I felt as if nobody played it.
Yeah, they
But
just crashed and burned.
The difference here is that isn't this free on the likes of PS4? You don't even need to have a subscription.
It's free on everything, and
Free on everything,
it's,
yeah.
and
PC,
it's
PS4,
cross-playable. Yeah.
Yeah, and that almost because of that, I'd say it will have a bit more retention than something like Battlefield 5 that kind of just fucking shit the bed. But I mean, I like it though. Like, how many wins have you gotten? Have you played it?
In which?
I haven't even installed it yet.
Warzone.
I've only played like 2 games. I got destroyed, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's very hard. Like, I don't know how they're talking about adding 200 people in it, but honest to God, I think 150 is almost too much. Like, you're trying to land somewhere where there's no people so you can actually pick up loot, but it's like anywhere you drop, there's a fight. There's always a fight somewhere, and I find it becomes frustrating. But the thing that kind of mitigates the frustration is the gulag. I think that's one thing about it that kind of makes it a little bit different from, like, I don't see any battle royale doing that. Where for anybody who doesn't know what the gulag is, if you die in the game, you go to the gulag, which is basically this kind of prison / shower, and you're in kind of like another lobby where you wait to fight another person who died also with the same weapon. And if you kill the guy, you go back into the game, you skydive back into the game, and if you die, you go back to the main menu. I think that's kind of a little,
unless
cool
your
addition.
teammates buy you back in.
True, yeah, another good point. So if you actually die, your teammates can bring you back in. So there's a lot more. It seems a bit more. It's less harsh. You can go back into the game. You can still win. There are different ways to win in this, I find. And people can give. If you don't have enough cash, you can go to your teammate, and then you can. One person can use all the cash to accumulate to buy someone in, which I think is $4,500 to buy someone back in.
And a very good point there as well, by Eri, is the fact that just when it comes down to the cosmetics, like, some people, once they see, like, all you need to do is get one cosmetic right, and people are hooked.
Yeah.
The thing about cosmetics, it's fine with a Fortnite game where you're third person and you can see what you're buying every time you do. But with a first person game, it doesn't really work.
It's the weapon skins, though, more than the operators.
But still, I think that the idea of having like a personal skin on your character to put your own kind of stamp on it, the whole idea, it sounds good, but in a first person game, there's no value to it because you do not actually see it. You only see it on someone else if you shoot them.
Well, in saying that, didn't people go nuts about this new unicorn Doom Eternal outfit that you can get?
I think that was just me and Melanphy.
No.
No, I've seen a few streamers go mad.
Everyone I've shown so far are like, "Oh my god, give me!"
Yeah, they're wearing. It's hilarious. Like,
but
no, I actually do agree with you still though. Like, I think it has less value in the first person game than something like Fortnite.
We'll move on to what we're here to really talk about. We've all kind of played. We all have a part to play in some of this, so we'll go and we'll bring it back. And I know people in the chat have played this too, but a couple of weeks ago we got the gift of the gods, the Final Fantasy VII demo, and we actually all played through it. All three of us here. It's probably it's actually the only thing here we've all played through. So I'm going to throw it to you guys first and say, like, it was Lucy's first ever experience of a Final Fantasy game. So we'll go to Lucy first and get his opinions on the demo and how he felt about it.
All right. Well, as you probably said, I've basically been a Final Fantasy virgin my whole life up until the time that the demo came out, and I didn't know what to expect. I just saw screenshots, didn't look at gameplay, and to be honest, I absolutely loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. It felt different. I'm not used to turn-based combat. Now, I know it's not exactly turn-based, but it kind of is and isn't it? That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, you're still choosing your moves instead of you're still choosing your moves instead of like it being fluid and you just press the button and it happens. It's a little bit more. It's more ATB than it's kind of that MMORPG battle system.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that there's the two different. Like, I know it's Cloud's special ability, in a sense, but the way he has the two separate modes for the fight that whenever he's fighting, I found that so.
What's
good
called operator and
tactical or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I found like that boss fight took me about 5 or 6 solid attempts to beat him, and I realized you can't just go ham and go gung ho. You have to actually have a bit of strategy involved. I find I had 1 health left, and I just about killed him. And you have to use Barret and Cloud You have to be kind of smart about it. Yeah, and I enjoyed that. It was a challenge, it wasn't easy.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was playing it, like if you had an opportunity to be inside my head, do you know what I mean? Like, it was nothing but me back when I was 10 years old, sitting on my bed playing it with the PS1 controller. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just brought all of that back.
I think I frightened a lot of people when I was playing this and showing off the demo because I smiled the whole way through. And people know that I don't smile at anything. So,
only when there's a point given to you.
Yeah, but basically, unless it has a nice foamy top on it, like looking at. Yeah, I smiled the whole way through it. I love the extras that are added to it. I love how the combat feels. And I thought, like, I'm not mad on Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy 12 or even Final Fantasy 13. I think that combat style, the gambit system, so I think it's it works with different series, but it doesn't work on a Final Fantasy series. This, on the other hand, because it flows and it's constantly moving, and you're not stopping to do anything, it feels a lot more progressive. Like, even to the fact that the bosses give you breaks by them changing their tactics up and stuff like that, so you have time to think and stuff. Everything is planned out in that guard scorpion fight perfectly. Like, you're taking him on, he decides to jump onto the wall and throw missiles at you. That's your new tactic. Yeah, after we're learning around that, you can cast fire up there at him and hit him, or you can use Barret and hit him, which means you have to switch characters. You have to constantly be thinking of what is the best thing for that situation. And then he lands the other side, throws down the barriers and starts using the beam attack, and you have to hide and get into cover and stuff and then go after him again. Like, these things, obviously, like in an ATB system from the old games, these things didn't exist. There was no such thing as you have to hide in certain places or the boss was going to change dynamics at all. So it kind of feels like it has enough nostalgia in it for me to be like, yes, I love these characters, I love this storyline, give me all that. And then it's just like, there's so much more because, like, and there's not just one flat plane that you fight on. Everything is like a battleground. All the walls, every bit of surface is now part of the battles.
Yeah.
And just props off to Square Enix for it, because I cannot wait. Like, when this comes out, GameStop, have my game ready. I'm sorry, guys, but you're probably not going to hear from me for 2 or 3 weeks, because I'm just going to be like, I'll be on stream and everything, and people won't be hearing me. I won't talk. Like, I'm literally just going to be completely immersed.
But that's the thing, though. It's like, it's even the small things there, like you said about the different strategies. There's one thing that everyone was just so focused on, I can control Cloud, no, I can control Barret, no, I can control Cloud, and then imagining what you do with multiple party members, with even more. But what I liked was the whole thing where you could give orders from whichever character you were playing as.
Yeah.
So you'd be there as Cloud in operator mode, just completely lashing into people, and then it's just with like 2 clicks of a button, you operate, or you order Barret to do his limit breaker on whatever enemy, and that's it. It's just 2 or 3 clicks. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was easy to do. Like, the one thing if we're going to talk about things that I'm either negative about or indifferent of, like I found Barrett kind of strange. To his lock-on system was a bit sluggish. I found sometimes I didn't know exactly where I was locking onto. Like, after you've defeat the boss and you're trying to escape,
and there's things up on the roof, kind of.
Yeah. There's those guys on the top, and I'm like, but there's guys as well with swords. So I'm like, I'm trying to flick. I think I was flicking the analog, basically with my right finger, and it was like, although it would select it, the camera would move slowly to that character, that enemy that I'm shooting. But I wanted to just have it like snap quick because I didn't even know where I was shooting half times.
I think that's kind of, you're so used to the FPS third person shooter. I'm in complete control of this aspect. Then kind of an RPG, you have to take every element as it comes aspect. You can't, like, you have to literally physically move it there for it to work properly. That's just something that, like, over time you get used to with a game like that. Anyway, speaking of, I was already talking about it earlier, Luca. I actually announced it earlier that there could be a Modern Warfare 2 remaster coming. We were only talking about it yesterday beforehand, and he just joined us in the chat. So welcome on in, Luca. So Final Fantasy 7. I'm gonna play the crap out of it. If you want to know where every single thing is, just watch me, because I'm gonna find it all.
Like, even some people were saying that. No, I kind of agreed with I kind of half agreed with it and disagreed with it. Like, people were saying that the demo was a bit too tutorial heavy. I even said that as well. But that's probably just indicative of the fact that it's just a demo, and you probably won't see as many of these tutorials. You can probably disable them as well. I needed the tutorials because I never played them before, so I didn't know what to do.
But that's the thing. It is a demo of a game with a unique. Well, some people would say yes, it's just like Final Fantasy 15 or it's just like Final Fantasy 13 or whichever. But realistically, it's a new battle system. It is. So of course there's going to be a tutorial. It might be the exact same in the full game as it is in that, because it's the start of the game. But then, of course, there's one likely going
to be there one way or the other. It's there to help people who are so used to playing the classic ATB system to adapt to this new system they have in place. Yeah. If you're going to complain about things like that, then just you're picking at things at that stage.
Yeah.
You're there for the story. You're there to be immersed in that game. Yeah, and if you're going to complain about the controllers, you're just not good enough to play it. But I've seen Lucy showing off his fancy red controllers. Now I kind of feel like I have to show off my sexy blue and purple one.
I wasn't even flexing there. Like, it's just a controller.
That's nice. What about my blue camo Xbox controller?
Boo, Xbox, boo.
That's nice, yeah.
It is nice, though.
I have the generic Xbox one here as well.
I have an Xbox 360 controller around there somewhere.
There's the white PlayStation 4 one.
Ah, there you go. That's more like it. But we're going to get on to something that Melanphy's itching to talk about, because I haven't played it yet, and Lucy hasn't played it yet, but a lot of people in the chat are wanting to. And Airyberry won a copy from our giveaway, so congrats to Airyberry. It is Doom Eternal. Thoughts and opinions, Melamphy?
Oh my god. This game. This game. There we go. I was trying to find a button. I was looking for footage among the team members that we could show here, and the one that I just had to do was my reaction at the opening cutscene. This game was unbelievable.
Do you reckon it's an early game of the year material?
Oh, definitely. Like, it's just, it feels so, it just feels so natural. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels so natural. The only thing I want to
joke about here is, like, you do all this, you set it up and it looks all fancy, and then you just put them in a unicorn costume.
But it's so good. It's still so good. Like, it's just it's the classic Quake engine type fights, you know, the fast-paced action, ammo falling all over the place, health falling all over the place, with some added in bonuses of the fact that, like, you have your glory kills to restore your health, you have your chainsaw to restore your ammo, you light people on fire to get your armor back. you know,
Yeah, it's hilarious.
it's just insane. Like, and the usually, like, people remember in the old Doom games there was the same kind of 2 or 3 enemies every so often or whatever. There is a vast array in this game. Like, I've only played the first mission. I'm planning on playing more of it, like, you know, as soon as I can, really. But I'm only after doing the first mission. I'm already after coming across 2 or 3 weapon types. I already have the grenades. I'm after coming across 4 or 5 enemy types, a boss. It's oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, like that was my concern about it. Like looking at early footage of it before it came out, and my concern was that they didn't have enough enemy variety. I was kind of going, I was a bit worried it's just going to be like a reskin, but it does look totally different. The enemy variety is like doubled in this one, isn't there? There's enemies I didn't even see before in the last 2016 Doom.
Oh my god. Like,
it's so full on. Like everything looks like it's going 100 miles an hour, but that's because it's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which kind of like it's refreshing because Doom 2016, they're both very similar games, obviously, but Doom 2016, it felt like it was going 100 miles an hour, but there was only like 3 or 4 mobs on the screen at all times. In Doom Eternal, it looks like everything is at you at once.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit.
Yeah. You seem a lot more agile in this one as well because of you have that like land boost you can do. Like it's like a quick boost, like almost like a second jump.
I haven't gotten that yet, but yeah, there's like there is the double jump, but there is also the kind of hop forward that you can do. But it's just like one thing that I love with games like this, and it is one thing that that id Software was known for years ago, was the whole point of their environments that they make. The environments are unbelievable. There was one point, like, you do the first bit, which is basically as if you're in like a prison trying to make your way out, but you are on Earth. It looks like you're in hell, but you are on Earth.
Oh,
you
really?
walk out, and there's a demon that you're about the size of his fingernail, and he had a city, like a fortress up on his back, and he's transporting troops around Earth. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like is that basically the plot? Because when I played the 2016 Doom, although I actually really liked Doom, the 2016 one, sorry, I mean, of course, the plot just went in one ear and out the other. I didn't even care about what was going on in the plot.
It felt like the story passes you by in that game. Like you're on Earth, then you're in hell. Okay, I'm still just running straight and killing everything, looking for a key every now and again. It does seem like there's more of an actual, like, it makes you feel the game a bit more with Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
I'd love to play it in VR. I know I can't, but I'd love to.
There is a VR apparently, but you
Doom
can't.
VFR is so good. The only gripe I have with it is it's short. It's very short.
Is that the one where you can't actually move? You have to teleport.
That's a common misconception. By default, your movement is teleportation, but that's default for 95% of VR games to reduce the chance of motion sickness. So you can turn on smooth moving, yeah.
Okay.
But it's the same way all other VR games.
Yeah. It just looks amazing. Like I really like that last one. Like it looks like there's monkey bars and everything in this that, like, if you want to traverse like over a piece of land where there's no land, like, not a way you can fall to your death or something. There's a lot of, like, it seems like you can climb stuff and bounce off things.
Use your environment to your advantage, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's more like environmental kind of friendly. And you just, even your shotgun, I don't know if, see, I've seen other streamers play. I don't want to spoil like kind of guns and equipment and abilities and stuff, but there's one where you can get a chain where it's like attached to your shotgun, and if they're really far away, because you can't really inflict as much damage with a shotgun.
Oh, the
hook chain and hook yourself onto them, and as you get close, you can just bang with the double barrel shotgun, and it looks so cool. I love the way
Scorpion. They're throwing the Morning Star people and pulling them in.
And then one thing that they really did hook people in with, well, going on from that point of hooking people, one thing that did please a lot of people as well is that anyone who pre-ordered it from certain retailers, of course, they got themselves a free copy of Doom 64.
What a game!
Is that
What
the
a
original?
game.
Is it?
No, the originals are back in, like, you know.
It's the N64 port of the original,
Yeah,
but it
It's-
was seen as one of the best.
it is one of the best. It's such a good game. I think it's like £4 on Steam. I'm actually gonna have to pick it up this week.
I'm gonna have to as well. I thought it was with my pre-order, but it wasn't.
I have a word for that we usually say, but can't say on stream. It starts
Has
with B and ends with
trophies.
S.
So
Okay,
it does.
I'm
So confirmed, it does have trophies and bonus levels.
Nice.
Trophies, wow. So it's all like completely updated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it
Like, I remember-
upscale? Or do you
As
still play it in like a...
As far as I'm aware, it has better graphics, but it's not current graphics.
It's just upscaled. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So I only have one question regarding Doom Eternal, and like I already know the answer, but is the soundtrack good?
Oh,
That's kind of what makes the game, isn't it?
That
The
is
sound
what
of
makes the
really
Doom
heavy
games.
rock kind of.
Yeah.
it is one point that I made that I love about Eternal over Doom 2016. In Doom 2016 and Doom VFR, there was a whole thing that when it's like low down, there's no enemies around. There's an ambient song for whatever level you're in. In Doom 2016, then, if you had a couple of imps around you, the basic unit, there'd be a bit of a song picking up. Then some sort of like Ultra Demon would spawn, or one of the big ball fellas, I can't remember their names right now, it escapes me. But as soon as like things get dialed up to 11, the music goes brilliant. But in Doom 2016, it's the same song.
Yeah.
It's the one song that plays whenever you're in a massacre. In Doom Eternal, it changes depending on the level and the intensity of the fight.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, it's like it would be so intense, and then one more zombie gets added to the battle, and all of a sudden there's a new bass drop. You know, it's I could go on for hours about it. I could actually go on for hours about it.
Like,
I just can't wait to mod it now and just put all the songs in as Tiny Tim.
I remember when
going along blowing. He's up, living in the sunlight, laughing in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Oh, that is such a psychotic song, isn't it? That is
I
so.
know.
That's even more psychotic than
that's
No,
his
he's the
name,
fuck
Tiny
that
Tim.
song. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Insidious, wasn't it? The movie Insidious, they used his song in it.
It
It's the
seemed to get
ghost
a
movie.
lot of attention from that, but it's a song from years ago.
Yeah,
It's
even
from like the
SpongeBob as well.
60s. Tiny Tim
Yeah.
is like old.
But I remember I bloody I described Doom 2016 as like the video game representation of cocaine, and now it looks like Doom Eternal is like the same but with an added orgasm onto it as well. It's just incredible, some of this.
It's
the only way I
such
could
a
describe
good
it.
description.
Like I found that Doom Eternal, my one complaint of Doom Eternal was that it was kind of Doom 2016. I mean, was that now this is probably just again before I didn't really play any Doom game before 2016, but when I played it, don't get me wrong, I loved it, but after a while, I started to see kind of a repetitive kind of pattern. It was like, right, you're walking. Oh my god, you're in a room, loads of enemies, just fucking fight, kill each other. Then we're in a room, walking. But it seems like in Doom Eternal, it's like there's more. The environment looks a bit more like you have to jump around. Yeah, it's more interesting to get around,
and the lore and the objectives are a little more obvious.
Yeah, there's
so
like
you know
green
you have
highlights.
to track. That's the thing. You know you have to track down this particular person. You know that there's these things that will explain the story to you if you want to look into them.
Yeah,
you know there's 2 or 3 paths you can go about, and then it will inevitably lead you to the one massacre zone. But
yeah.
I still love it. Easily one of my instant thoughts that it will be at least nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So now we get to talk about something we all love, but I still haven't played it, but you two have. It's the RE3 demo.
Yep.
Cole just put in the chat there a minute ago, did you see people are modding it already?
Yeah, they put Pennywise as Nemesis, and he's even bigger this time. He's they modded Jill as well to give her the classic RE1 outfit, and that looks amazing. Like, which you can see as well, like how they can, when the real game comes out, like they'll probably be able to add like Regina skins and all. You know the fan base is gonna go nuts for things like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if a Regina skin comes as an actual thing, though.
So will I, yeah.
So even just with the footage that we're looking at here, it was just, you know, Lucy's first impression of coming out, trying the dodges, and like literally his words on this bit was like, "Look at the amount of them."
Yeah, there's more of them on screen this time. I find, like, see, if you don't know, I obviously speedrun RE2 Remake, and I feel like I'm an expert with dealing with these zombies. But these zombies in this game, they seem more aggressive. They seem quicker, faster. They lunge faster at you.
But they are like it's like a different breed of zombies. It's the same as if you play RE2 and RE3, because in RE3, like classic, like the zombies are different. They move differently.
Yeah.
They have faster patterns. They are more random and everything, and as to how they dive at you and stuff.
And
I think a lot of, especially with the speedrun community, a lot of like the best times and stuff are just going to be completely RNG based.
Yeah. It already in the demo, there seems to be a lot of RNG, like not only with the zombie placements, like where they are in the room or on the streets or anything like that, but like even the damage they take. Like in Resident Evil 2 Remake, one difference is if you shoot a zombie in the head on standard mode, there's like a 99% chance that they'll stagger and you'll have like a window to run by them. That's not the case with this game. You have to shoot them. I find sometimes you have to shoot them 3 or 4 times in the head before they stagger. And I think Capcom have done that because they want to incentivize players using this new dodge mechanic, which is a lot more fun.
I was going to say there's a lot more survivability tactics in this. Like, first of all, you start off with a knife.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's a secondary item. It is a main item in the game, like a main weapon. You have a lot more mechanics regarding, like, you know, if a zombie grabs you, you have to quick tap E or whatever it is to pull a zombie off you. In regards to in the RE2 where they just bit you and then you threw them off. And also you have the dodge mechanic, the proper roll away mechanic. Like there seems to be a lot more chances for you to kind of, as much as there's more zombies and they have more mechanics, there's more for you to kind of survive and adapt to as well.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I kind of want Lucy to kind of walk us through here. This next bit of footage was his first time trying Nemesis, and he actually gets a perfect dodge off. Just if you remember, because I know.
No, I don't. He manages to punch me first time, doesn't he? Like,
the first time, yes.
He punched me. Yeah.
Then this was the second time. And
This
you were
is-
just like,
this is
yeah,
worse
let's go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so this is the second time I encountered Nemesis. I felt that when I fought Nemesis, when I actually decided to fight back a little bit, he was a little bit more of a bitch. Like, he kind of backs off a little bit more. Like, I shot him. I noticed that if you shoot him in the skin, not much happens, but you have to aim for that electrified kind of heart, where he kind of get, like, as you see a spark when you shoot it. Like, yeah, that was the dodge there. Now, maybe that was just because the dodge, if you do a perfect dodge and manage to shoot him, maybe he is more affected by it. But I found that if I fought back, I did much better as opposed to just running away.
But it seems like you have more control of the situation if you're willing to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, I just love the fact though that they did put in the two. Like, it's kind of like no matter which way you choose, you're going to get hurt. Like, if you try to run away from him, he'll baseball slide past you, come back to punch you. Whereas if you do the whole thing of like the way you treat Lickers and look back at him, he's just going to sprint and he's 3 times as fast as you.
There's almost no, and I lost him as well. I played it so much that I did manage to lose him, right? But he just basically teleports into another room if you keep going somewhere. Like, there's actually no losing him. You can't. I think if you're ever going to play the game, when the game comes out and you're going to casually play it, I think it was easy to get away from Mr. X. You could lose him. I think you need to accept the fact that if Nemesis is around, you just will not be able to lose him. So you're going to have to roll with the punches, try and dodge him, try and fight back a bit. You're not going to be able to lose him the way you can with other enemies in this game. Like, he's basically I find that his AI is similar to the Licker, where if you keep the camera on him, he is a bit slower. Like, he'll only run at you, and you have a bit more of a chance to get away. But people have made comparisons with Batman as well. Like, he's using his tentacles as a grapple hook to get on bloody roofs.
But there is the whole thing then as well, though, that people are commenting on, and I'd like to get both of your opinions on it, because like, I know you've seen the pictures and stuff as well, Moroxide, on the sheer size of him compared to the way he was in the classic.
I think he looks fantastic. I feel like everything about his size, his shape, his build, it shows that he's big and he's got a big presence, but it shows that he's still agile. Like, he has the build of someone that's agile and has a lot of mobility, and that can, it's not like a zombie, and a zombie, like, could dive out in front of you and be like lightning fast or whatever. Like, he actually looks like he's built to like fit his purpose of hunting you down, grabbing you, pulling you towards him, and still has the fear factor in his actual build. I want to see like the next stages of him as he starts to lose the clothing and kind of morph a bit and stuff. Like, that stuff is going to look crazy, I think.
Yeah.
But we only have 2 weeks to wait. 2 weeks to wait, lads.
And bear in mind, that's him without a weapon. That's him without a rocket launcher. Him without a rocket launcher or a flamethrower.
But like, I was only thinking about speedrun tactics and stuff like that. There's going to be a lot more, probably because it's going to be so RNG based. People are going to find it a lot harder to, like, when to pick up ammo, when to ditch ammo, when to do things, because you don't know how he's going to react. You could meet him in one hallway 100 times and have 100 different encounters with him. It's not like a thing of, you see Mr. X, you go up, you aim at him, he throws a punch, you don't run by him, and you're through. Every now and again you might get caught. This guy can just sprint in front of you. He can go through you. He can grab you from miles away. Like, you have no idea. Like, you could do that perfect dodge, but he's going to catch you in the next 3 steps. He's going to be back on you.
I don't like, one thing that we saw as well is that it did seem like he had some of the super tyrant, not RNG, some of the super tyrant AI in it as well, because there was one stage where Lucy was like trying to see if he could find like tricks or whatever, and he started doing the dance with the knife.
Yeah.
Just staying at his side and where he just does the sidestep. But then eventually he got sick of it and just turned around with his tentacle and just whipped him.
Yeah. No, I don't know if that was me messing that up. Maybe I was just too nervous. Just that it's a terrifying feeling standing next to Nemesis. But yeah, like, you do that little dance where you stand to his side, and then he moves to go towards you, but you stand to his other side, and you just repeat that again. And then, like Malafi's saying, he just kind of got bored of that, and then did something different, and then just whipped me.
He kind of seems to adapt, as opposed to Mr. X, where it's like with Mr. X, it was the whole, if Leon or Claire is here, do this.
Yeah.
Whereas with Nemesis, it seems to be, it's as if there's a failure counter there, where it's like, if they're doing this, if it fails 3 times, try this instead.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
He just seems more diverse. I suppose because he is the main guy and there's no like secondary mutant in that sense to back him up through that game. He has to kind of evolve as you evolve, and you learn about him. He has to learn about you. I suppose it makes sense for it to be that way.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see like him mutate more. I want to like see what he's capable of with this flamethrower, this rocket launcher. Is it better when he has the flamethrower, the rocket launcher, because he's probably limited how mobility and moves? Does he move a bit slower because he's carrying this extra bit?
I hope he does.
Better. Like what happens?
He doesn't. I don't think he does, because in the trailer, don't you see him? He actually has the big tank on his back, and he has the flamethrower in his hand. He literally leaps through a ceiling onto the roof like the Hulk. I don't think he's going to get any, and he might get in gameplay. You never know, but I mean,
we just have to wait and see.
I can't. Yeah, I can't wait. Like you're saying there about the secondary mutant. Like, I'm excited to see what they do if they have a Gravedigger. He's the only other boss in the game that's not Nemesis.
They did. I'm sure they did say that that's going to be in it. It's just that they haven't shown any footage yet.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see. And like, do you think that they could actually add a Mr. X? Because there's like 6 Mr. X's.
If you ever notice in the original RE3, when you fight Nemesis near the end, there actually is a Mr. X buried in one of the walls.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3.
And like, but he's like full, exoskeleton. Like he's still together, but he's just in the wall. And his head is there. So maybe at some stage, I don't know. I feel like if they're going to do something like that, they'd add it in as a DLC and add a little bit more story with it.
Like, because realistically, they might be able to do that as a way to kind of not stretch out the story, but add a tiny little bit more, like they did with Resident Evil 2.
Well, it would help join the 2 stories together. Like it would help it feel like this is happening whilst that's happening because he's here.
But that's what I mean, though. It's like it's in the lore of it. It's supposed to be that there was 6 Mr. X's attached to that helicopter that went down.
Yeah, but they were dropped in different parts of the city, weren't they?
2 of them were dropped on the RPD to go after Leon and Claire. 4 of them were dropped at the Dead Factory, which is the end of RE3.
Yeah.
And then you see one of them in the wall as a super tyrant, and you see the opposite wall one, and he still has his suit on him.
Yeah.
So, and apparently you see one in the sewers as well outside the Dead Factory, but I can't remember seeing that one. But yeah, we might have something where we might get that. Now, I know they've gotten rid of the option system, but we might have a whole.
Now,
do you want to walk in the front door of the Dead Factory, or do you want to go down to the sewers? And then down the sewers, maybe there's going to be half of a Mr. X there trying to claw his way up to you or something.
Yeah.
Or you could have the opposite. You could have something like, we don't exactly know what we're going to get with Carlos's version, his story part of the game. So maybe he could run into Mr. X.
I actually hope that there's more than one part of the game where we do play as Carlos. I'd like it to. By the way, you play as Ada once, you played as Sherry once.
Yeah,
I'd like to play as Carlos maybe twice.
If there is multiple parts, like we still don't know, but I think if there is, that's where they would probably include a Mr. X, just to kind of keep you thinking about this is still RE2, still Raccoon City.
You might play as him in. You could be able to play as him in the RPD and the hospital. That's what I'm thinking, and then the rest is Jill,
or maybe him through like part of the sewers, or his version of that, or whatever.
Yeah, we just don't know. It's just all speculation at this point, really. Like the one thing about the game that really struck me was how much more agile you feel in the game. Like the mechanics definitely feel different. But I remember Kyo said something very funny that there was kind of some truth to it. But he was like, he loved the way Resident Evil 7 went back to bare bones Resident Evil style. And then Resident Evil 2 was a little bit more action-based. Now Resident Evil 3 is quite action-based, and we're kind of going in the direction of RE6 again. So who knows what RE8 is going to be like. But I think that just playing Resident Evil 3 is, I think it's the correct balance. It's just enough action, in my opinion.
Let's see. Like, we haven't played none of us have played the full game yet. We won't know until we actually, we leave Raccoon City and the game ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know the way I'm going to look at it. I don't care if there's loads of action. I don't care if there's loads of jump scares. Like that's one thing. Like, actually, do you know what? I'm not going to say this right now because it is a spoiler of something in the demo, so I'm not going to say it. But like, all we can do is wait and see. Like, everything is speculation at the moment. Everyone's like, oh, they better not do this, they better not do that, all this sort of thing. Just, guys, do me a favor. Be quiet. Let other people enjoy who's going to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy, fair enough. Find something that you do.
Yeah. But, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm going to enjoy it as a game, one way or the other. Now, whether it scratches that need to have, but the big thing for me is, like, I don't care whether this game is brilliant or not. I want to be sure that the stories actually wrap up together, and that you can see that this was happening at the same time as this. Like, myself and Lucy have talked about this many times, and it's the only thing that we hate about the Resident Evil 2 and 3 is how the stories don't overlap properly, and how like certain things are done in it, and it just, as long as if it fills the blanks for that for me, then it's done its job. I don't care if it doesn't play that brilliant, if it just fills in the questions that I have about the series in regards to that game, I'll be happy.
I'm already happy with it because I said it, like you probably remember me saying it over the last couple of months. As long as Nemesis can sprint and he's faster than us, I'm happy. That's all I wanted out of this game, and we got it.
Yeah, I think I think when
you're-
we come back to this in 4 weeks' time and we talk about it or whatever, I will be like, well, I'll probably be playing Final Fantasy and someone else will be fitting in for me. But I think we'll be like, yeah, it ticked all the boxes for us.
Lucy, you're muted.
Lucy, your mic's muted.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I had people coming in the room.
No, you're good.
I was saying there, we haven't even touched on Resistance yet, though.
No.
Now, I know you haven't played it.
We'll wait.
You've played it, haven't you?
I've played it, yes, and I've given my opinions on that. But we do still have a demo of that coming up. Another open beta.
When's the next Friday?
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, next Friday or Saturday.
Next week.
So but the difference is like you'll be able to, because you played at Melanphy at the time when you didn't even know that it was part of Resident Evil 3. Now we will. Now we're going to play it knowing it's with Resident Evil 3. Like, do you think that they'll actually add things like they'll probably add Nemesis this time and
oh, without a doubt. I would think without a doubt. Maybe not straight away at launch. But they did release the information about how another mastermind is going to be Annette Birkin, and where her bio weapon that she controls is the various stages of William. Something, if you remember, I said months ago as well. But there's a bunch of stuff that they could potentially do with it. They've announced a couple of masterminds.
Control Nemesis though, like would it be Nikolai?
I would think Nikolai, or it could be just some UBCS operative.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to make that much sense, does it?
Yeah, have already come out and said that it's not going to be canon. But they did say it's not going to be canon.
I know.
Because even Alex Wesker is in it. Anyone who hasn't played Resident Evil Revelations 2 won't know who that is. Go and play it. Would definitely recommend it.
I literally got it the other day.
Oh man, it's so good. The one thing that I'll want in this open beta is a survivor matchmaking. A survivor invite matchmaking, because that's what took a lot of the interest out of playing as a survivor in the first open beta, because you had to be matched up with 3 strangers. There was no lobby system.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying to Lucy the other day. I asked him, are we going to be playing Project, or are we going playing Resident Evil Resistance together? And he was saying about he prefers single player and all that, and that's fair enough. But then I made the point. I was like, okay, how about if it's myself, Moroxide, and 2 more of the lads, and you be the mastermind that tries to take us down?
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably be garbage at it. I don't know. Like, I've never.
Game on.
We'll see. No, look, it looks good. I mean, I don't know if they have liquors in it and stuff, don't they? But they don't have it in the main game. Like, do you think they'll even add the likes of liquors and IVs in the actual story? Because they are in Resistance. They don't even have hunters in Resistance. They're probably just keeping us quiet on the hunters. It'd be a bit spoilery. Like, imagine playing Resistance with hunters. Oh man, I want them to bring back the likes of the
I have a challenge I want to issue to the community, actually, now that I just think about it a bit. We'll put together a team for Resistance, say myself, the 3 of us, and Bo, or whoever wants to join us. And the community gets to mastermind the game.
So you're saying, like, the community they decide what decisions are made.
No, like
They're the
they're the mastermind. They have to stop us from
They
escaping.
have to stop us from escaping.
Like the community, as in like one person.
Yeah.
Well,
person
it's
per game.
each game,
Per
like it
game,
swaps
yeah.
out.
That could be good, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Be interesting to see who they choose and why they would choose them as well.
Yeah,
because there is a whole kind of leveling system as well. It was kind of it was apparent, it was obvious from the way when you were selecting which mastermind you were. You had like a unique ability, you had a special ability, and you had a loadout. So, like there was the standing zombies, the floor zombies. There was the injection to turn them into crimson heads. There was the liquor card. There was the turret card. But there was other cards that you could shuffle into them. But none of them were available because it was an alpha essentially. But I cannot wait to see the combinations people come up with.
yeah.
I just think it's interesting to make sure, like, it would be funny because you could end up being like, we could end up getting dominated by someone in the community, or we can dominate them or whatever. But I think it's interesting to kind of, I think looking forward to something like that is interesting because I've never played it, neither has Lucy, but Lamphy has, so he has a slight advantage. But like throwing me and Lucy in there where we have no idea what's going to come from where, like there'll be screams.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like until the 4 people in a certain, like I'm this is a guarantee. Until the 4 people that are as survivors are able to work together as a unit and move together, work strategically, the masterminds will win every time. I can guarantee you that.
I know Lucy's going to try speedrun it. I'm going to go for knife tactics. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to be looking out for traps.
Yeah. No, it's a totally different experience. Like I know a lot of people wanted Outbreak.
Oh man,
people still want an Outbreak, but no, I wouldn't mind an Outbreak. But this seems like it's Capcom's version of their multiplayer. So
it feels like it suits it as well. It's a good time for them to have a game where everyone has to interact together, and it's not like you're doing a whole story that's 3 hours long. You're doing these 30-minute segments, which is enough time to get your mates together, have a bit of crack, and then do whatever you were doing previous, or go on with your day.
But that's the thing. It's like we were saying earlier. Call of Duty is getting into the battle royale game. It looks like Capcom want to get into the asynchronous multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's a lot of people who say this whole thing of this is Outbreak or the new version of Outbreak. No, it isn't. It has nothing to do with it. They might eventually decide to remake it. Who knows? But this is not it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get, lads. We're going to get whatever Capcom gives us one way or the other, and we're all going to play it one way or the other. So I give out about it.
Yeah.
Well, there's one question that's almost I forgot to ask actually about this game that it's not really related to Resistance, but when Nemesis actually picks up a zombie and he puts that the
thing on his head,
it's like a foreskin almost. But I haven't been killed by that yet because every time I get grabbed by it, Nemesis punches me and punches that thing off me. But what's the death animation? How does it?
I don't know. I don't know the death animation, but I have a fair feeling that that's Capcom's way of saying you didn't like the IVs. Well, now they can randomly be anywhere.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's just the way that thing, not being affected. I mean that if they get through, because you were getting bitten by that, or you were getting grabbed by him, and you did a dodge roll out of it. I have a feeling if you don't do that dodge roll and you don't time it properly, it's an instant death.
Yeah, but that's one thing that was kind of bugging me, because if that is an instant death, then why the hell is Nemesis not even? Why isn't Nemesis just letting that happen? Because he
wants the glory.
He's designed to kill the stars, not them.
Yeah,
but isn't he intelligent? Like, why is he even that? If he's
not intelligent, he's controllable. That's what it was. It was a special version of the V-Act. Like the only version of Nemesis that had full self-awareness was the one from the movies. The rest of them was always controlled by a hunger or controlled by someone in a lab.
Yeah. But why is that person even? I don't even care now about like why is that person even doing that? Like it doesn't make sense to me that he's not.
They want the
He's not
glory.
allowing you to die.
They want the glory.
Lad, it's Nemesis. He does what he wants.
Yeah, that's another thing as well. Like it's
Like
Nemesis.
he comes through walls. He's like, "Hey, how are you getting on?"
Like, you know, like you know what I'm saying? It's not that complicated. You know what I mean?
Like if it was another zombie that pushed him off, I'd be like, "Why'd that happen?" But like, it's Nemesis. Like he's going to do what he wants to do. Like he's going to come in and slap a bitch. He's like, "Oh, hello." Like, but there's ways that, like you say that, but there's ways of triggering so that like Mr. X punches a zombie off you in RE2 if a zombie grabs you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it doesn't kill you in one. That would make more sense to me. But if it kills you in one go and he's constantly, literally saving you from it,
no, I can see where you're coming from, but
maybe he's just being sound.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like
maybe he's like what was your man's name from Goonies? Maybe he's misunderstood. Maybe he does just want to play, and maybe he does want to save you, but he's just being a bit too rough.
Yeah.
So I think we've pretty much covered RE3's demo as much as we can, without giving away too much. So we'll just address the community. Does anybody have any questions for us or anything in the community?
There was one or two questions I saw there earlier. One I did want to touch on as well, just because I know none of us have played it, but it is something that we've all talked about.
Are you going to say Ori and Will-O-Wisps?
Yes.
Oh my god, that game looks phenomenal.
Looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
It literally does.
Beautiful.
I love platformers and stuff. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I've been watching a couple of people play it lately, and I love platformers. I love, like, you know, obviously, like you can see me the last couple of weeks. I've been playing Rayman and Castlevania and stuff. So, like, it suits me to the ground to actually have this game. I just don't have it yet.
And it's just I don't know. It just seems like don't get me wrong. It has moments in it, very like Hollow Knight, where it's a bit infuriating where you have to try to figure out which way to go and what to do. But it's just the environments and the music. It's like I could find a certain area and just stand there, just stay there, and it's just so relaxing and kind of like the way it was, kind of like the way we all were when we first booted up the Final Fantasy 7 demo and we heard that music and we were just like, give me about 10 minutes.
Yeah, just to sit there and soak it all in.
Yeah.
I just love the battle theme to Final Fantasy 7.
The remake tunes are beast. They really are. But yeah, Ori, like, the thing about Ori that I like, actually, one of the most comfortable things about it is it looks like it controls so well. Like, platformers usually have serious issues with how they control and how you interact with objects and stuff, but it looks so solid, straight out the box, like that. Like, I honestly can't wait to pick it up and have a go at it. I can't wait
to see you playing it. I just can't wait to see you playing it because the way you are. No, but you know what I mean. But the way you are with platformers and such,
love them.
Like like that bit of news that I shared to you this morning as well.
Shared to me this morning
about Castlevania.
Oh no, I forgot what that is already. But we did miss a piece of news this week. Apparently, Sony are trying to buy the Metal Gear, Castlevania, and Silent Hill series off Konami.
No.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that as well.
No, it's all rumors. It's all.
Can you let us dream? No.
I know. Malafi always does this.
This has been going on for no. I don't want people having false hopes on this. This has been apparently in talks for about 6 months about Sony reaching out to Konami on behalf of Kojima Productions to try to get the IPs for this. They are not going to sell this to anything that Kojima
they're not
can
going
touch.
To make anything on them either. That's why this is, like, obviously Castlevania, like, Konami's not going to go near that. Or not Konami, Kojima's not going to go near that. That'll go to the guys who made the Bloodstained games to make a new Castlevania. Like that's who you'd want to, like the 505 guys. They're the guys you want to make that game.
But when's the last time Konami sold an IP?
When's the last time Konami made anything good? Like,
You know what I mean, though. All I
cool.
would say,
Cool.
all I would say is take it with a grain of salt. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, we understand that, Melanfi, but we're just talking about it. That's all.
I know.
that started with apparently. I didn't say that.
Yeah. Like
I said apparently.
It's just at this stage there is chats out there. I am not joking, but I'm not going to name drop. There is partnered streamers out there that if you ask, yeah, because
I'm just name dropping you there.
Clearly, I'm partner. But if you mention that rumor, you will get banned because they're like, "Look, I'm sick of that being spread around."
that's true, actually. Yeah.
I honestly don't care. It's something that if it happened, I'd be very, very happy to see.
It'd be awesome if it happened.
So go away. I want my new games.
Yeah.
It just means more games for me. Like, it means I'm broke, but like at the same time, more games to play. Like, if we finally get that Silent Hills PT thing, like the world's going to break.
Yeah.
Like, it is. And
I
I'm
would
going
love a new Silent Hill. I mean, I've been saying that since day one. Like, I mean, I think we'd all.
I think it would be the most played game where people genuinely need a bucket beside them in case they need to crap themselves.
Yeah. It's just that Silent Hill was a completely different horror that you don't really see a lot of these days. A lot of it is jump scares these days, but that was
no one's able to
Silent
do
Hill
it the
was
way.
very
Yeah,
different.
it's a melodically paced mindfuck. Like, that's what Silent Hill is.
It's all symbolism and it's psychologically disturbing instead of like it's a slow burn of a horror game.
Instead of a
emotional.
here comes the scary thing. No!
Yeah, Nemesis. Oh my god, fucking run!
Hold on now. He is terrifying. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
When he starts coming
just
through walls after me, I'm going to be like, ah!
Yeah, I don't. It's just different types of horror.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I don't see a lot of anymore.
There's survival horror, there's action horror, there's psychological horror. But that's another thing. Even just one more point, just to say on Resident Evil 3 as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this whole thing of Nemesis being able to break into save rooms. I wouldn't be surprised if that's hardcore mode only.
Yeah, I'd actually like if that was the case. Just hard mode.
Could you imagine saving your game and like not knowing he's there, and then like loading it back up, being like, that's grand, turn around, and he's like, straight to the face.
But I'd say what it's going to be is that, like, and this is what I think would give enough of a challenge where it would mess you up, but you still have a safe room, kind of, is if they did it where the item box is grand, nothing happens to the item box, but the wall he blows in destroys the typewriter.
Oh, that's almost
that's
too cruel.
Disgusting. Hey, you guys.
Yeah, the amount of memes I saw online of just Nemesis not giving a shit about your, like, he'd be like, fuck your typewriter. Doesn't care about your typewriter. Yeah, I'd like that. I just can't wait for it. 2 weeks now, isn't it? 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So do we have any other questions from the community?
Bo was saying there that he played Silent Hill 1 for the first time a year ago. I don't even know if it was a year ago. It felt recent, and it still creeped him out and had an effect on him.
It's funny because the first kind of hour of playing a Silent Hill game, it's kind of too normal to be like creepy, and even in that, because it's so normal, it's kind of creepy. And then as you start to, like, go further into it, and then things start falling apart and the music builds up and you get that eerie, like, noise with everything, it just slowly grinds you down. Like,
yeah, like I always describe it.
I think we've covered all the, like, it's just I'm looking back through all the questions, and it looks like we've we've pretty much covered everything that's been asked.
Nice.
I was just gonna say there, like, I've always described the difference between something like Silent Hill, like the granddaddies of horror gaming would probably be Resident Evil and Silent Hill, but I like to describe them as, like, I could play Resident Evil for 6 hours and still be kind of in a relatively content mood, and my mood would be fine.
I think
if I played 2 hours of Silent Hill, I'd be really disturbed, and I'm like, I need to take a break from this.
Do you like RPGs, Lucy?
I don't. To be honest, I've never really played a lot of them. The one that I delved in mostly was Fallout 4, and I've been told that Fallout 4 is only like a watered down version of what an RPG should be like. But
One
no.
game I'd like to recommend to you, is a game called Sweet Home.
Oh, I know Sweet Home. Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, that's the game that Resident Evil drew its inspiration from. A lot of people say it was Was it Parasite Eve?
Is Parasite Eve not newer than Resident Evil?
There's a particular game that everyone tries to say. No, it's Alone in the Dark.
Alone in the Dark
is what a lot of people think the Resident Evil is based on. It's actually Sweet Home.
No.
I'd love to see you try that sometime.
Because wasn't that made by the same? Was that made by the same
director?
Creators? Yeah, the same director.
Yeah, and it was on the NES, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a Game Boy game almost.
Pretty much.
It's just mad how far we've come with horror and stuff like that. But I wanted to break it down as well. What Lucy was saying about how Silent Hill games would wear you down more. I think it's because with like a Resident Evil game, there's an adrenaline rush of all the action and stuff.
Yeah.
But with Silent Hill, there's not that much action. It actually makes you think. Like there's riddles and there's stuff like that. It actually makes your mind think more about the game. You're not more concentrating on shooting things or killing things, and then that kind of wears down your mental like energy. And then by the time the game gets creepy and stuff, and that settles in, it kind of takes over. And I think that's something very unique about the Silent Hill games that like that put them so far apart than all the other games. Like we have psychological horror games where you go around houses and you pick up things and you read things and stuff, or you've got things like what's it called? Amnesia, where you have to go around and pick up things, but they still don't have that genuine like wearing you down mentally the way a Silent Hill game would.
Yeah, it's a classic environment that's so unique. I don't really feel the same playing other games than I do playing Silent Hill. It just feels like it's too classic of an environment. It's as classic as Raccoon City, like Raccoon City has that aura of just chaos, whereas Silent Hill has that aura of just psychological disturbance, and you can't really explain it much. And I want to go back there. And I know a lot of people are like, look, just let the past die. Fair enough. But I can't help but kind of feel hungry for another Silent Hill experience. And I'd love that to happen.
Yeah. So wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
So unless we have any more questions, I think it's time for us to get out of here.
We have a couple of people who just joined us there in the last couple of minutes.
Hello, everybody.
If we do the last 2 or 3 minutes of if anyone has any questions on anything, we have gone through all of the news that we've been aware of in regards to new games coming out and some closures of some business, and we went a little bit we went a little bit personal, talking about Final Fantasy 7, Doom Eternal, and Resident Evil 3. We do a poll on who has the best beard. Is said by Little Marman, the one guy that doesn't have one.
We actually just went through that, Katsuna. Literally, that's how we ended up on the topic of Silent Hill. They're actually trying to buy. We were talking about how they're trying to buy that and them in Castlevania.
Bo doesn't even have a beard. Bo has
he doesn't even have a tash anymore.
Oh man, that tash!
I'd look to see
legendary.
Apparently, Brogan has the best beard though. Okay.
I need to shave under the bridge. I haven't shaved
under the bridge
since I've been unemployed. I haven't shaved yet. Pretty much.
I have a great beard. My beard just does what it's supposed to do all the time. Yeah. In the winter, it grows long so I can hold food in it. Safety first.
It's gas. There's some people asking for tutorials on how to grow a beard. Like,
you go outside and stick your chin up like this into the sun.
Love them to re-release.
Just pour some whiskey over your chin
with all its cook content.
Oh man, MGS5 was
you want
so
more
long.
Added on to MGS5. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't complain about it, but you think MGS5 isn't long enough?
That is the longest game I've ever played.
It was epic though. It was such
I
a good
I
game.
liked it. Yeah, I liked.
But like,
Mega
I
Soul
thought it
Fire.
was over, and it's like, oh, that felt great. And then all of a sudden, there's just another half. That was halfway, and I was like, oh my god.
And then you get to the end of that bit. There's the big reveal. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say because of spoilers. And it's like, here you go, 12 more missions. What?
Yeah, I liked it a lot though. I know it was kind of not what the classic Metal Gear Solid ethos is all about, but like I like the whole kind of sandbox free roaming aspect of Metal Gear Solid 5. But
Yeah.
just, like and I'm coming at it as a person who've only played 1, 4, and 5. Haven't played 2 and 3. So
You just
wouldn't
have to
always
have
have
played
it.
one. If you've played one,
That's the one thing that I would say though, Brogan. It's the one thing that I say to people who constantly try to tell me that they think Resident Evil 6 is bad or Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City is bad and all this sort of thing. The one question I ask them is, have you played it yourself? Have you made your own opinion?
yes.
And if they say
and if you stick with knife strats, they're quite fun.
you and your knife strats, I swear.
I'm telling you, lads,
Are
it's the
you
only way to
serious?
enjoy any game. Is just get that knife out and go
This poll is
wild.
already fixed. This poll's fixed already. Like,
I've played them all apart from Umbrella Corps.
Oh, I didn't even notice the poll was there. I'm gonna get another vote
there's a poll
there.
at the top of the chat there, Lucy.
Oh, is that? I didn't know.
Marman doesn't even have a
Uh,
beard. He's a chin fluff.
Marman, people are saying Marman. I'll vote Marman. Why not?
Oh Jesus!
We're
Come
all
on, lads,
drawn.
I look like a trucker today.
You would have actually, Lucy, if you didn't move off yourself, you might have won there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fuck it. Doesn't matter. I can't stop coursing. Sorry. I keep coursing.
Yeah.
Stop.
But yeah, I think we should ask Mr. Moraxide on what his plans for the rest of the day are.
I haven't got a clue. My plans for the rest of today? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with I haven't got a clue. I might play some more Bloodstained. I really want to find out what this boss is like that I had to pay to download. So there could be that.
Oof.
It could be FIFA. I could go back and play some more RC. I don't know. Is the big answer to that one. But I'm gonna let the two of you guys finish up, and then I'll just sign us off. So we're gonna head on over to Lucy Lover, and he's gonna tell us where you can find him and what he's gonna be doing today. Lucy.
Yeah, well, in particular today, I'm not going to be streaming today. I'm deciding to take a day off because I've been streaming full time for the first time in my life this whole week. So I'm just going to take a day off today, probably have a shower, watch a movie, relax, maybe work out. Maybe play a bit more of Resident Evil 3 Remake Demo offline, and then I'll see where I am. But I want to post some content on YouTube today.
You're going to be pumping the iron.
Put the cookie down. But now I'm gonna be putting some YouTube content up for like my YouTube channel's been dormant for a while. I want to revive it, put up my PB on the speed run of it, and I also want to put up my speed runs of RE2 Remake. I haven't put those up, my PBs, and also I want to put up my first playthrough of the demo as well. But I'll be streaming tomorrow. I reckon I'll be streaming tomorrow. That's me done.
Malamphy.
You would do it then. I have a couple of things that I need to do, that I need to get to. There's the likes of playing Operation Raccoon City with a couple of people. There's having some Minecraft sessions off stream with Naomi, and anyone else who ends up wanting to join, just let me know. I'm trying to get better at presenting this Stream Raiders thing on my stream. I want to play more Doom. There's so much to do.
He's just lying to you all. He just wants to play Doom
Yeah.
all day.
But I still need
Don't
to do
blame
more
him.
challenges in Fortnite. There's so much to do, and it's just like blah. But
Yeah, it's just going to end up with Malamphy playing Doom, right? That's where it ends.
but as everybody said earlier in the chat, She said she wants to see me destroy things as the Doomicorn. That's going to happen either today or tomorrow.
The Doom.
So I'm going the Doom Unicorn.
I know.
I didn't even know that was what it was called.
Yeah, the
Doomicorn.
Doomicorn. So but yeah, I've been Menamphy anyway. Here is
Lucy.
Back to me again.
more just to say goodbyes and such.
All right, I'll see you all. I'll see you all
Where
tomorrow.
can the
like.
people find you, Lucy, man?
You can find me on Twitch, LucyLover_ and LucyLover on YouTube as well. I have the exact same ugly face as the icon. Snapchat filter, so that's where you can find me. And my Twitter as well. My Twitter is also just LucyLover _ as well, I think it is. That bloody underscore, when I ever get partnered, I'm going to get rid of that underscore and I'm going to be so happy. Like, it's just, it puts a roadblock and it doesn't look right.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm just going to stare at the camera.
I'll be done. That's what
No, guys, look, my name is there. Here. This is where it is. Here somewhere. Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch at Moroxide, everywhere at Moroxide. Guys, I'm going to be playing more FIFA with the guys, more community games. As I said, guys, if you're getting Resident Evil 3, when we're doing the resistance runs, we want you guys to be the masterminds and for us to run around and try to get away from you. We might turn that into like a little series or something. But guys, make sure to follow Team Redirect everywhere. Make sure to check out Gamivo as well, Team Redirect sponsor. They've hooked us up. Ariberry won a copy of Doom Eternal from them today. Congratulations to Ariberry. They hook us up with so many things though, guys, and make sure to check them out and use code Team Redirect at checkout. So that's it for us for episode 3, guys. We'll lose the hat now. That didn't work out. Yeah, see you all later, and peace. Wait, hold on. What's happening here?